Following your plan does not simply mean just on the current trade that you're involved in. Oftentimes, especially in swing trading, you can have plans set up for a few instruments at one time. Now, doing this work will allow you to follow a business plan for potential trades, which will allow you to have a plan of attack when and if the setup occurs. You will avoid the mistake that most beginning traders make, and that is emotionally allowing yourself to interact with the market. Once the variables in the plan fall in line, you execute without hesitation. To do anything other than that lacks consistency, and without consistency, long-term success will not be yours. That's guaranteed. So this brings me back to a piece that I did called Developing EURUSD Forex Swing Trade. After discussing a current trade, I wrapped up the piece talking about another potential trade in the same pair. And I wrote, since there's no risk on this trade, a strong break out of this consolidation around B could set up an addition to the current short trade. So let's see how this plan has unfolded. Now, looking back at the dollar index chart and comparing it to the original screen capture, we can see the resolution of the bull flag was to the upside. Now, the resolution was fierce, and the last candle is clearly showing momentum in the move. That chart simply added support to the planning stages of the possibility of adding to the short in the EURUSD currently held. So I was looking for a strong break of the EU range, but that set up another issue. A strong move and close could price me out of the trade depending on the size of the move. That would result in a missed trade on a setup that I was anticipating given the information that the charts provided. So the plan consisted of the following entry criteria and risk control. Number 1, keep consistent risk percentage of total account. Number 2, if price breaks and then shows bull strength, I would greatly decrease risk or lock in profits. Number 3, if price breaks and remains bear strength, let the trade play out. So the sell stop triggered at 1.1250 on February 26 on strength. Price consolidates over the weekend and on March 4th drops and brings this current portion of the trade to 167 pips. The plan now calls for seeing how price reacts as it has breached a low of 1.1098 where price had reversed 400 pips. We could see a failure test in this zone, but that alone will not stop this trade for me. What occurs after a potential failure is what will determine the next course of action for this trade. The business plan allowed me to have potential trades lined up, which would allow me to have a chance to enter a potentially profitable trade. Think of it as going into business with the instrument. The trade plan forces me to stay present and to aid in my ability to keep emotions out of the decision-making process. Think of this as being an agreement of your responsibility to the triggered trade. When trading intraday, most days will offer you up multiple opportunities to trade. Swing trading is much different. The setups do not occur on a daily basis, and if you're not prepared, you'll miss out on the potential that your edge provides. Now, I used to be pretty haphazard when it came to possible trades and consisted only of scanning charts on a daily basis. But things change. Now, even in this day of technology, I still prefer to make notes in a spiral notebook highlighting the instrument, the setup type, the time frame, the probable stop, the entry, and the risk. The days of having a trade idea actually trigger without me on board are, for the most part, long gone. The difference between the years really has been treating trading as a business and not a hobby or something that I do. And I believe that is why I love to use the word business plan when speaking of watch lists, instruments, and setups. It reminds me at all times that this is a business where the better capitalized and more experienced traders want to put your money into their accounts. Small things matter, and you have to do what it takes to keep your actions in line with the hugely successful. The business plan. It's 2 words that pack a lot of energy. And to quickly update that trade, it is currently up 400 pips as of week ending March 6th.